Most men compliment what's obvious. Few dare to compliment what's hidden, and that is where desire begins. You see, the compliments that melt her are not loud, not rehearsed, and not dripping with charm. They are subtle, unexpected, and unsettling in the best possible way. Not because you're trying to seduce her, but because you saw something in her she didn't think anyone else noticed. That's what stays. That's what makes her return to your silence. Welcome to Stoic Courage. Let's begin. Every woman carries two selves, the one the world praises and the one she protects in silence. One is graceful, the other is on fire, and most men never meet the second. They fall for the soft voice, the steady gaze, the cultivated calm that says, "I've got it all together." But that calm is often just the skin of survival. If you want to disarm a woman, don't praise her peace. Praise the war she's hiding behind it. Tell her you carry silence, like someone who survived a storm. There's a strength in your restraint. Not many notice it. I do. You see, what unsettles her isn't being called beautiful. It's being told. You notice the tension beneath her smile. Because behind every curated expression lies an unspoken chaos. And very few men have the presence to look into it without trying to fix it, solve it, or seduce it. This kind of compliment doesn't charm her, it exposes her. And strangely, that's what builds trust. Not flattery, but the feeling that someone finally saw the fire behind the calm. Not many men go there, fewer return, but the ones who do are remembered in silence. Because when a woman is finally seen not in her perfection, but in her private war, she softens, not to please, but because, for the first time, she no longer has to fight alone. What she fears is not being misunderstood. What she fears is being truly seen. Because to be seen means the performance ends. It means the mask cracks, and someone is standing there, staring into the place she keeps guarded with charm, with logic, with deflection. She's mastered the art of control. With a look, a tilt of her head, a shift in her tone. She steers the rhythm of men without breaking a sweat. But she can't steer you, not because you resist, but because you don't move. You don't chase, you don't flatter, you don't shrink when she tests your edge. You just remain, present, still, sovereign. And this breaks something inside her, not in pain, but in memory. It reminds her of the girl she was before control became her armor. When you refuse to play, not with contempt but with clarity, you return her to the moment she first realized. She could bend men with beauty, but not you. Not because you're above her, but because you've already faced the storm inside yourself and found it unimpressive compared to your silence. In that space, she doesn't feel manipulated. She feels released, and she can't tell if it's fear or desire. She just knows something in her can no longer lead the way. You didn't conquer her. You dissolved the illusion that she had ever been in charge. That is not a compliment. That is the quiet undoing of a fortress built in 1,000 lonely nights. There's a room inside every woman she doesn't decorate. She doesn't post about it. She doesn't even name it, because naming it would make it real. And if it's real, it might unravel everything she's built. This room is where the wildness lives, the part of her that still wants to bite, to run, to scream and laugh without checking the mirror. It's not trauma, it's not broken, it's simply untouched. And untouched things terrify her. so she avoids it, fills her days with control, with productivity, with polished femininity. But one day a man walks in and finds that room. He doesn't ask for entry. He doesn't open drawers. He simply steps into her unknowing and does not panic. He doesn't try to understand. He doesn't label what he feels. He just breathes. And in that breath, something forgotten stirs in her. Something before words, before pleasing, before performing. She feels not seen, but met. And in that meeting, she realizes it was never about being loved. It was about being safe, to unravel. She won't remember what you said, but she'll remember how the room felt after you left. No need for charm, no chase, no grand goodbye. Just a man who walked in like silence and made everything loud once he was gone. No lessons were taught, no truths were forced, but something unspoken kept echoing in the spaces she once filled with certainty. She'll forget the face, forget the voice, but not that strange, quiet power that said nothing and still stayed. If this echoed somewhere inside you, let it breathe in the comments. Subscribe, not for more content, but for more stillness.